why do you look so down?
I want to prepare for the NMMS, but I have no idea where to start.
Oh,
Don't worry, I'm here to help. Gory Smart Channel has everything you need for NMMS prep. Just check it out. Subscribe, like, and share.
Really? That's awesome. I'll subscribe to Gowrie Smart Channel right away. Thank you so much.
Good evening, all of you. Today we will discuss about the topic force and pressure. Force. What is a force? Force means to push or pull an object. What is meant by a force? To push or pull of an object. What is the effect of force? We will observe in our day-to-day life the effect of force. For suppose, if we want to throw a ball, we will use a force. It changes the position of the object. So the effect of force is it changes the position of object. And also it changes the direction of object. And also it changes the state of object. State of object or shape of object. Shape of object. This is the effect of force we will observe in our day-to-day life. For example, first example changes the position of the object. If we throw a ball, first it is in one position, after throwing it is in another position. There is a change in its position. At the same time, direction of the object. In a football playing, player apply force on the ball. Another player apply on the force on the ball. Immediately the ball direction changes itself. So force can affect the direction of the ball also. In the same way, state of the object or shape of the object. If you take a now sponge and if you apply force on that sponge, there is a change in its volume. There is a change in its shape. So force can change the shape of the object. Then, how many types of forces are there? Generally, we classify the forces into two types. One is contact force. One is contact force. The another one is non-contact force. What is meant by contact force? Force exerted when the two bodies are in physical contact. Then force applied on one body on another body. Then it is called contact force. We are having four types of contact forces. Those are muscular force, frictional force, normal force and tensional force. All these four forces act when they have physical contact. Without having physical contact, they cannot work. For example, muscular force. The force is resulted due to the muscles. Means by using muscles, if we are doing any work by using force, that is called muscular force. What is a muscular force? For suppose you are pressing a paste. In our day-to-day life, these activities we will do. If you are pressing a paste, what you are doing without touching the toothpaste, can we press the paste? Can we apply paste on the brush? No, without touching the brush or without touching the paste, we cannot apply paste on the brush. We are using our muscles to do that activity. That is called muscular force. Muscular force means the force exerted by our body muscles. If you kick a ball, your body muscles exerts force on the ball. So that is also muscular force. You are lifting a bag or you are lifting a weight. By using your muscles, you are lifting the bag. That is also one of the example of muscular force. The next one is frictional force. What is a frictional force? Frictional force is also one type of contact force. When two bodies are in physical contact, one body exerts force on the another body. which opposes the relative motion of a body is called frictional force. Which opposes the relative motion of a body is called frictional force. For suppose one body is sliding on another body. For suppose it is moving on another body. This body acts force on the one surface, and this surface also acts the force on the another body surface. So when two surfaces are in contact, one surface opposes the relative motion of the body. This force is called frictional force. This frictional force always acts against the applied force. Means it always works opposite direction to the applied force. If you if we are moving, if a body is moving in one surface, the another surface opposes the this relative motion of this body. That is called frictional force. In another chapter we will discuss friction deeply. The next one is normal force. What is a normal force? The force acting against the gravitational force is called normal force. Otherwise the force works at the normal to the surface is called normal force. For suppose if we kept a book on a table, if we kept a book on a table, center of mass, the gravitational force means the weight of the body. The gravitational force acting on a body is called its weight. The gravitational force acting on a body is called its weight. The weight of the body always works towards the center of the earth. So that W is equal to mg works towards the gravitational force towards the center of the earth. Then some other force acts on the body in the opposite to the gravitational force. That is called normal force. This force will gives by the surface of the body. The surface gives the normal force on the body. That's why the book cannot fall down. If there is no surface here, the book, due to the gravitational force, the book freely fall on the surface of the earth. So that is called normal force. The normal force always acts opposite to the gravitational force and perpendicular to the surface. This is a plane surface, so we directly write this normal force in upward direction opposite to the gravitational force. For suppose it is an inclined plane. For suppose it is an inclined plane, the body is moving in a inclined plane. What happens here? The W is equal to mg walks towards the center of the earth. But here the normal force is normal to this surface, acts like this. This is the normal force. Normal force always acts perpendicular to the normal to the surface only. Normal to that surface only. The next one is tension force. What is a tension force? Tension means what? The tightness or the stiffness of the string or rope is called tension. So the force exerted by the rope or string is called tension force. If you hang a weight to a hanger, that the string has a tension force. The next one is non-contact force. This is also called as force at a distance. Means without having any physical contact, one body exerts force on another body is called non-contact force. For example, you are very familiar with these non-contact forces by playing with magnets. Without touching the nail, if you keep near the magnet, the nail automatically comes and attracts by the magnet or not. So without touching, there is no physical contact. Means the magnet creates a field around the magnet in three-dimensionally. Then which is a magnetic substance very near to that field, then it was attracted by the magnet. So we can call them as field forces also. So we can non-contact forces also called as force at a distance or field forces. The first one is electrostatic force. Electrostatic force is also a non-contact force. What is meant by electrostatic force? We can do an experiment. By doing that experiment, we can understand what is an electrostatic force. Take a rubber balloon. Take a rubber balloon and small pieces of paper keep near the rubber balloon, and rubber balloon will rub with polythene sheet. After some time, this rubber balloon gains some charge. When you keep small pieces of paper near the rubber balloon, these small papers were attracted by the balloon. That force is called electrostatic force. Due to the friction, it will come. When we are rubbing with polythene paper, the rubber balloon gains a charge. That's why it attracts the small pieces of paper or husk or dust particles. All are attracted by the rubber balloon. This is called electrostatic force. The next one is magnetic force. You all know about the magnetic force. Magnet, it has north pole and south pole. Like poles are repels each other and unlike poles are attracts each other. At the same time, magnetic substances, the substances which are attracted by the magnets are called magnetic substances. Magnetic substances are attracted by the magnet. All substances cannot be attracted by the magnets. Only magnetic substances are attracted by the magnets without having physical contact. Magnet attracts the magnetic substances. Example, magnet attracts the nails. Magnet attracts the bolts. Magnet attracts the blade. All we will see in our day-to-day life without having physical contact. The force exerted by the magnet attracts the magnetic substances. So this is called magnetic force. The other one is gravitational force. The other one is gravitational force. Earth attracts the any object on the earth surface. Earth attracts the any object on the earth surface. The earth attraction power is called gravitational force. If you keep any object, if you throw any object from the earth surface, after some time again it reaches the earth surface. A freely falling body reaches the earth surface, vertically thrown body also, after some time it will reach some height and again it will come back into the earth surface. So this is the means all the objects are attracted by the earth. That is called gravitational force. The next topic is pressure. What is pressure? Force by area means if you are applying force on a particular area, we are applying some pressure. For suppose I applied force on board. So how much area I applied force? I applied force on the board applies pressure on the wall. Okay. In the same manner, due to this pressure and tension only, we can put a nail on the wall. We are applying force on the head of the nail. Then it penetrates into the wall due to the pressure. What is pressure by? Pressure, what is the formula for the pressure is force by area. Okay. The force applied on a fixed area is called pressure. So formula is pressure is equal to force by area. The units of pressure is Newton per meter square or Dyne per centimeter square. Okay, what is the unit of force? If we are seeing means the unit of force SI unit is equal to Newton and CGS unit is Dyne. CGS unit is Dyne and SI unit is Newton. We have to observe one thing also. Changes of intensity of the force depend upon the direction. For suppose, if there is an object, we are applying force on the same direction. Then it moves forward with increasing speed. For suppose, if we are applying the same force in opposite direction, here 10 newtons and also here 10 newtons, what happens? The object is in stable condition. Why? Because the forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So if we are applying force in the same direction, the object will move and there is an increase in its speed. If we are applying force in opposite direction with equal magnitude, then that is in rest position. For suppose we are applying force in both directions. Here it is 10 newtons, this is 8 newtons. But here it is in 10 newtons. What happens to the object? The object moves in which direction? The object always moves in force direction. The sum of the force here is 18 newtons. The sum of the force here is 10 newton. The difference is 8 newtons. So with 8 newtons force, the object moves forward. With 8 newtons force, the object moves forward. This is called net force acting on the body. This is called net force acting on the body. In a body, we are having 4 types of forces acting on a body. 4 types of forces acting on a body, that is in horizontal direction, and another one is vertical direction. For suppose if you take an object which is in rest position, that means the net force 0. Here the gravitational force acting on the body W is equal to mg in vertical direction towards the center of the earth. The normal force acting on the body against the gravitational force, both are same in magnitude and opposite in direction. So the vertically it is in stable condition. Vertically it is in rest position. If you are applying the force F here, and here the frictional force also acting, if the both are in equal in magnitude, applied force and frictional force both are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction, then horizontally also the object is in rest position. So if there is a if an object is in rest position, that means no force acting on that body is not correct. There is 4 forces acting on that body: applied force, frictional force, normal force and gravitational force. But the sum of the all forces becomes 0. Vertically opposite direction magnitude equal. So vertically net force 0 and horizontally net force also 0. Therefore the object is in rest position. If the object is in rest position means all forces acting on that body are compensating each other in opposite directions. So the net force is 0. If the net force is 0, then only the object is in rest position. For suppose if the applied force is more, the object moves in a horizontal direction. For suppose the normal force is more, then the object moves forward, means against gravitational force. From the earth surface it moves forward. So if there is a object rest position means net force acting on that body is 0. Here pressure means force by area. The SI unit is Newton per meter square and CGS unit is Dyne per centimeter square. So which objects exerts pressure? Solids, liquids and gases also exerts pressure. Solids have definite shape, so we can calculate the pressure by using the mathematical formulas. Force by area, directly we can measure the pressure. What about the liquids and gases? Liquids do not have definite shape. It acquires the shape of their container. So liquids exerts pressure on the walls of their container. Liquids exerts pressure on the walls of their container. So pressure depend upon the depth of the liquid. If the depth is more, the pressure exerted by the liquid also more. If the depth is less, the pressure exerted by the liquids also less. In the same manner, gases also exerts pressure. In our earth completely covered with the atmosphere, this atmosphere also exerts pressure on the each and every object which is in the earth surface. That is called atmospheric pressure. But we cannot feel that pressure. Why? Because our human body also gives the same pressure the net force and the net pressure becomes zero. That's why we cannot feel the atmospheric pressure on our human body. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it.